Namaste and welcome to Beginner Yoga. My name is Marissa Segundo, and today we're going to find a spot inside or outside of our house where you can unroll your mat and let the day just float away as we spend this time concentrating on our breath, the movement of our breath, and the movement of our bodies guided by our breath. So find a comfortable seated position such that you can elevate your spine, kind of drawing up from the crown of the head and grounding down towards the base of the spine. And we'll bring our hands to heart center as we begin each yoga practice with the first Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga Anushasana. Join in if you'd like. Hatha Yoga Anushasanam. And please join me in the sound and vibration of Om. Inhaling to prepare. And just allow that Om to reverberate throughout your body. And with your hands still at heart center, take a moment to create an intention for your practice, for your life, or for this moment. Hold that intention in your heart as you clear it from your mind. And bring your hands to heart center, connecting thumb and forefingers, or just placing your hands comfortably in your lap. And just take this time to notice your breath. Notice how it comes in and out naturally without changing it. Allowing your facial features to relax. Softening your forehead. Softening your facial features. Allowing your eyes to close gently or to remain focused on one single point. As you watch your breath, just allow your top jaw to separate from your bottom jaw and invite your tongue to just hang loose in your mouth. And if you haven't begun to do so naturally, beginning yogic breath, breathing in through the nose, allowing that air to travel deep into your belly, expanding your belly with air. As you exhale, collapsing your belly, inviting that air to travel up and out your nostrils. And really take some time focusing on the rhythm of this breath. In through the nose, down all the way to the belly, expanding the belly with air. As you exhale, collapsing the belly, allowing that air to travel up and gently out your nostrils. Creating your rhythm for your breath in your yoga practice now is one of the most important things you can do for your body and your day. So just spend this time connecting fully with your breath. Staying present in this moment, undistracted by outside interruptions that want to distract your yoga practice. Just try to stay present in this moment. Inviting waves of relaxation to start at the very tip of your spine and gently travel down to the base of your spine. And once you connect fully with your breath in this moment, go ahead and lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders back and down. And on your next exhale, allow the chin to travel down toward the chest, crown of the head falls forward. Feeling length in the back of the neck. And on your next inhale, gently draw the chin back to center. Exhale and drawing it all the way up to the sky. Feeling length in the front of the neck. If you want to put the bottom lip over the top lip, you can do that here. Exhale and draw the chin back to center. On your next exhale, draw the right ear to hover over the right shoulder. Feeling length on the left-hand side of the neck. You can even place your left hand on top of your right ear, or right hand on top of your left ear, rather. Avoiding the temptation to pull or tug, just find that little bit of extra space on the left-hand side of the neck. On your next inhale, release your hand from top of the head, drawing the head back to center. As you exhale, on the opposite side, allow the left ear to hover over the left shoulder. This time, place the left hand over the right ear. If that feels good, or you can just leave your hand or your head there without any extra weight. Decide what works for you, what will help to extend the right hand side of the neck. Inhale and releasing your upper hand, drawing the hands back to center. Inhale the clasped hands up over your head. Exhale, just make one big circle. Allow the shoulder blades to come together. Really spend a moment. Maybe even go up and down a little bit when you're at a T position. Then eventually drawing the hands back to center. We'll bring our thumb and pointer finger together for Om Mudra. We're going to start Om Mudra at our heart. Press that out to the world. Even spend a moment for your gaze or your drishti to be right in the center of that triangle. And then open till our arms are out to a T. Shoulder blades come together. Maybe making just some gentle arm circles, flexing at the wrists. Strong hands. So sometimes we have like fish hands. We don't want fish hands, we want strong hands. Separating the fingers so you can really engage. And then reversing directions. So a little bit of upper back engagement, a little bit of arm strengthening. And very slowly, hopefully it went both ways on that. We'll bring your hands back to heart center. Inhale the clasped hands up. This time we're just going to let go with the right hand. Allow the right palm to greet the earth. Reach tall with the left hand and then tip down on the right hand side. Gaze can be down at the floor or up at your top hand, whatever feels good, but just really feel length. Feel that space on the side body separating. And then when you're ready, reaching tall. Both hands up to the sky. Exhale down with the left hand. Reach tall with the right and tipping down now on the left hand side. Looking down or up, whatever calls to you. Really focusing on the side body. And when we do these side body stretches, you can think about either making a crescent moon with your upper arm or extending your upper arm and figure out what is speaking to you in this moment. And that may change from day to day, and that's okay. So we'll reach up to the sky, and now while we have our arms up, let's just be a blade of grass. So make sure, I guess, before you are a blade of grass, make sure that your sits bones are connecting with the earth and you feel very grounded. And then we'll just wave back and forth to be a blade of grass in the wind. If you want to get some circles in there, you can get some rounded circles. Just look around you and figure out any obstacles that may sneak up on you. So doing circles in both directions, just really getting through the side body. Inhale and hands to heart center. Let's once again find Om Mudra right from our heart and press that out to the earth or to the world around you. Opening our arms, bringing back to that T, flexing the hands, and just spend a moment bringing the shoulder blades together in the back. Eventually drawing the hands back to heart center. So from here, we'll just go ahead and scooch a little bit back on our mat. such that I'll actually do this from the side, such that our soles of our feet come together, Baddha Konasana. If you need some support underneath your knees, go ahead and give yourself permission to provide that in the form of a block or a pillow, bolster, whatever feels good. Nice long spine. Just spend a moment lengthening your spine, thinking about elevating up from your bottom rib all the way up to your heart. Soles of the feet are together. We're touching opposite toes, opposite fingers. We'll just start flapping our butterfly wings. If having this Baddha Konasana position is not comfortable and you'd rather find yourself in Sukhasana doing the butterfly wings, you can do that too. So decide what works for you and your body in this moment. If you want to get a little bit more into your hips, the Baddha Konasana or bound angle is going to be a better path for you. All right. So we won't do this too much longer, but we're going to lengthen our legs long in front of us to find Dandasana. Flexing our feet forward, inhaling the clasped hands up over the head. We're going to interlock all of our fingers except for our pointer fingers and our thumbs. And just bow over. You see you're kind of pointing forward. We're going to just make a circle around our feet. So if your feet are still far away, that's okay. Just make a circle wherever your hands are landing in the air. So if this is your comfort zone, you can make a circle right there. So decide what works for you. Realize we're early in the practice. So it's okay if you're not currently making a circle around your feet. Not a problem. Even after the practice, it's okay if you're not making a circle around your feet. What we're trying to do is to get into our back right now. All right. So once we're even on both sides, we'll elevate all the way up to the sky. Maybe find a tiny back bend before we swoop our arms around. Found a barrier there on the way down. So we'll keep our hands at heart center for a moment and bend the left knee, placing the sole, bending the right knee and placing the sole of the right foot on the earth. Imagine you are kind of grabbing the earth with your toes. So you're kind of grabbing your mat with your toes as if they were fingers. So place our hands at heart center. Inhale the clasped hands up. As we exhale, we'll open to the left-hand side. So you'll see me looking backwards for a moment. I'm going to place my right hand in front of the left leg for an open twist. Don't worry, I'll be back. Nice, long, open twist. So you want to think about being tall and twisty. Then swoop the arms up to the sky. Exhale, close twist to the opposite side. And gazes over the back, right shoulder. Nice long spine. Swooping the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. So we're engaging our hamstrings. You may want to just bounce your knees a little bit if that feels good. This may even just be too much on your hamstrings, and you may need to just keep your knees a little bit bent, and that's okay too. That may actually enable you to find your circle around your feet a little bit better. So circling one way and the opposite way. And then find, inhale our arms up over our head. Exhale, circling them down and around. This time we bring the sole of the left foot onto the earth. Inhale, clasp hands up. Exhale, open twist to the right hand side. Gazes over the right shoulder. And when you're ready, swoop the arms up to the sky. Exhale, now we've got a closed twist to the left hand side. Tall and twisty. And then swooping our arms up to the sky, exhale, bow forward. Let's, if you can, bend your knees a little bit, grab your toes, and let's actually keep our left leg long in front of us, and our right leg will kind of turn into an arc a little bit. So you can either, meaning like a bow. So we're just going to, you can either put 2 fingers on your big toe, or you can grab the outside of your right foot or the inside of your right foot, whatever works for you. I'm going to grab my toe, find a nice long spine, and we're going to make circles. Pretty foul. Okay, so we're going to make circles with our, as if we're kind of got a marker at the coming out of our heel, and we're just drawing circles on our mat. Nice big circles, opening the hips, and then circling the other direction. Try not to have the temptation to round your spine. If you round your spine, you're losing the core engagement that comes with this stretch as a benefit. Also, don't feel like you have to mix. I always feel like this is a mixing bowl and your foot is a spoon. Don't feel like you have to mix really rigorously. Maybe take your time, go all the way around, get kind of the edge of the bowl all the way around. And then lengthening that down. And grabbing the other side. So once again, you can circle 2 fingers around your big toe, grab the outside of your foot or the inside of your foot, whatever feels good. A nice long spine. Also, as an option, you can use a tie or a strap or anything that helps to lengthen your legs. Notice normally when we do this, we have the bent knee, and you can do that too. Give you a little bit of extra foundation. And whichever way you decide to do, make sure you circle in both directions. Now we're just very slowly kind of stretching the lower back, the hips, hamstrings, and groin. So the lower body should feel a little bit more engaged. So we'll come back to our Baddha Konasana. And if you want to flap your butterfly wings, you can do that. Nice long spine. Focusing on your core. Okay, let's go ahead and move the outsides of our feet towards the outside of the mat, rolling shoulders back and down to open the heart, and we'll just allow our knees to fall over to the right hand side for windshield wipers. And back to center. Exhale to the opposite side. Just take your time. All right, lengthening the legs long in front of you, inhaling the arms up to the sky, thumbs towards the back of the room, and just one more time bowing forward, so really rounding the spine, maybe shaking the head from side to side or up and down. And then find your long spine again for Dandasana or staff pose. And then when you're ready, we will swoop the feet around. And find a nice long spine. Fingers spread wide apart and active. And we find ourselves first off in the tabletop pose. So we want to make sure that our Knees are aligned with our hips. Hips are aligned with the knees, and the crease in your wrist is just below your shoulders. And take a moment to feel your nice long spine. Make sure there's no dips or bends in it. And then on your next inhale, melt the heart forward, draw the shoulder blades together. Last thing that comes up is the crown of the head. Exhaling around the spine. Allow the head to hang forward, pressing into the earth, pressing into thumb and forefingers. Soles of the feet can be flat on the earth, or you can curl the toes under, whatever feels good. On your next inhale, melt the heart forward, shoulder blades come together. Last thing that comes up is the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, last time for cat, find your cat pose. And then coming back to a neutral tabletop position. Okay, so from our tabletop position, we will go ahead and lengthen back for a moment with your back right leg. Then bending the right knee out to the side, we're going to come in and just kiss our elbow and then extend it back out. Kissing the elbow, extending it all the way back out. One more time. And extending all the way back out. Both hands are still flat on the earth. I know our tendency is when our opposite leg is up in the air that you have opposite arms, but for this we're just going to ground ourselves so we can really focus on the lower body. So inhale, extending the left foot back. If you want to do ankle circles too, you can. That's kind of a nice way when you have your foot free in the air. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, kiss your left elbow with your left knee. You may also want to tuck your right toes just to give you a little bit more stability if that feels good. And you can really focus on squaring your hips and drawing all the attention to your core. Last time, kissing the knee and back to center. So we're here in the center. We'll place our hands one hand length forward and melt down into extended child's pose. So even though we're in extended child's pose, our fingers are spread wide apart and active, pressing into the earth. Our wrists are aligned with our shoulders. Shoulders are aligned with our hips. Hips are aligned with the ankles. And we find the extended child's pose. From here, we'll elevate the hips, tuck the toes, and just walk our way to downward facing dog. From downward dog, you can shake your head from side to side or up and down, pressing into your pointer finger and thumbs. Also, maybe even creating a space in the palm of your hand, especially if you have any wrist compressions. Walk your dog. Do whatever works. Then we'll shift our weight forward, find ourselves in a plank, and we'll walk the plank. And from our plank, we'll come down onto our knees, chest and chin. Inhale for a baby cobra, full cobra, or sphinx. Wherever your back feels comfortable in this moment. And then when you're ready, placing the hands underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes, working your way back into a plank. Walking the plank. And this time we're going to bring the left knee in towards the body, right below the left hip. Tuck the left toes. Take the back right toe and pivot it down and reach up to the sky. If you can find alignment, with your top hand and bottom hand, great. If this feels good and you want to get a little bit more of a balance and core, you can elevate your back foot and do a kneeling half moon pose. swoop that. And if you want some, you want to hold this for a minute and you want to get some energy and bring that arm all the way around, you can do that. As long as you do it on both sides. You may want some knee support if your knees are a little bit sensitive. So we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. You want to make sure that we position the right knee just below the right hip. Left sole of the left foot goes to the earth. Right hand's just below the right shoulder and elevating up with the left arm. It should feel like a nice, side body stretch. And then if you want to elevate up, so upper arm should be aligned with the lower arm. Your knee is also open, so your hips are open, just like it would be in half moon pose or Ardha Chandrasana. And if you did that windmill on one side, do that on the other. Both sides. And then come on back down. And while we're here, you can shake your yoga tail and then eventually end back up in extended child's pose. Take a moment in extended child's pose. Maybe you can come onto your forearms a little bit, especially if that last asana helped to create a little bit of heat, so we can press into our forearms. Maybe even put your forearms, I'm going to step forward just a little bit, put your forearms in front of you. And from here you can elevate up onto your toes, elevate your hips, and come into a dolphin pose. So dolphin, we're kind of in a really long downward facing dog, but we're on our forearms. So this is also a good option if you have a lot of wrist compression in downward facing dog. And you can walk your dolphin too. But you never knew that you could walk your dolphin. Then we'll lower down, lower all the way down to extended child's pose. Just let the upper body relax. All right, so from our extended child's pose, let's go ahead and come all the way up into elevating our hips and coming into a downward facing dog. Walking our dog, and then maybe elevating up with the back right foot, so you come into a three-legged dog, and maybe that upper knee bends. And you can swoop your knee, your right knee, so it goes towards the right wrist, and find yourself in a pigeon pose. So in our pigeon pose, our tendency is to go foop, like I just did, and lean on one side. So if that is where your body is in this moment, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to align your wrists. So I'm grabbing whatever pillow I just have nearby on my patio, and I'm going to use that to align my hips. Not only my hips I want to align, but this foot, this back right foot, I'm going to heel toe that until I know and I can feel that it's aligned with my back leg. So our hips are squared. It's always the tendency to go, I want to be in a reclined pigeon. I'm going to challenge you to not recline your pigeon and to just stay in a traditional pigeon, nice and upright. Notice how that really focuses on your lower back, engages, lengthens, getting lengthening in the psoas, in the hips, in the hamstrings. You can also, with your hands, you can place them flat on the earth, or you can bring them up onto blocks too. A lot of options for you there. Just connecting with your breath. And then when you're ready, tuck the back toe. Move your pillow out of the way if you can. And then come back to your three-legged dog. And eventually back to your downward facing dog. Then we'll elevate with the left foot and swoop the left knee in towards the left wrist. And if you were clever about where you place your pillow, it could just be in a perfect position to align your hips. Nice long spine, pressing into the earth. Think about aligning your big toe with your inner hip or the inside of your leg. So it's a nice long line. Our tendency with our foot is to move it from one side to the other. Nice long spine. Connecting with the breath. And then when you're ready, rather than going to a back to our three-legged dog, we're going to kind of rotate our hips a little bit. Take the pillow and work our way on back onto the mat. So rolling the shoulders back and down, nice long spine, engaging the core. You can bring the palms up to the sky. And if you feel core strengthening there, you can just stay right here if that's good. You want to start to lean back just a little bit. Maybe you want to raise up with your feet. If that feels good, you can do that. For half boat pose, Ardha Navasana. Maybe you want to row your boat because we didn't do any vinyasas today. Get a little bit of heat. And then very slowly lower yourself down to the earth. All right. So from the earth, hoping you can still see me, we'll lengthen the left leg, draw the right leg in towards the body, and shift the right ankle over kind of towards the left hip. So essentially you're recreating that pigeon pose that we just did on the earth, but now on your back. And I like to just wrap my hands around my knee and just give it a big hug, but at the same time kind of gently coaxing it towards the left hand side so we can really get into the lower back and the glutes. Connecting with your breath. Just bringing your energy down to the earth. When you're ready, you can lengthen this leg very long, but just take your time because you've just kind of compressed your hips a little bit. So we'll do the same thing on the opposite side, drawing first the left knee in towards the heart and then over in towards the, I should say the left armpit and then over towards the heart. You want to give a little bit of a hug to your leg just to give that little bit of extra support and also gently coaxing it towards the right hand side. If you're feeling it in your glutes, if you're feeling it in your lower back, then that's a good spot. And we'll just shift. Forgot to do this on the other side, so we're gonna have to come back to do that. But we'll just shift the right or the left leg over towards the right hand side, drawing our arms out to a T, and your gaze will be looking towards the left hand side for the lower body twists. You're going to place your right hand on top of your left knee. You can do that too. And then when you're ready, drawing your both knees to your heart, rock them from side to side. And then we'll once again lengthen the left leg and allow the right knee to fall over to the left hand side. And your gaze is over the right shoulder. And then when you feel equally twisty on both sides, you can bring the soles of your feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana, and just take a moment to open the hips a little bit. You could place a sandbag on your inner thighs if that feels good to engage, or you may just want to just take it easy as we've been really engaging our hips and our thighs. You can find a mudra if that feels good and place that over your solar plexus chakra. And at this time, if there's any final posture that your body is craving to complete your yoga practice, go ahead and do that at this time. And then we'll all meet in Shavasana. So our ankles will be aligned with our hips, hips aligned with the shoulders, palms open to the sky. If you want an eye pillow or a sandbag or over your eyes, you can do that. And I'm going to come up to sitting, but you can still stay in Shavasana, taking your time. Just taking a mental scan of your body, noticing what you've learned today. Hopefully you've learned to fully connect with your breath and your body. Finding a union of yoga in your movements and your breath, guided by your breath. And as you take a mental scan of your body, learning what you discovered today about your body and breath without judgment. Just take note of that. Whenever you're ready, slowly start to bring your body back to full awareness. wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, touching your thumb to each finger one at a time, connecting with the energies of earth, air, fire, and water. Sa, ta, na. Stretching your arms long above your head and your legs long in front of you. Stretching your energies from fingertips to tips of toes. Gently draw your knees into your chest and give them a hug, rocking side to side or in a circle, massaging your lower back. And then gently draw your knees over to the right hand side and rest there for a moment in the fetal position. Our final resting posture is called Shavasana, or corpse pose, where we allow any unwanted thoughts, feelings, or energies to die in this posture. In this fetal position, we are reborn, ready to lead a new life of mindfulness, awareness of our body, breath, and all of the beautiful energy around us. Whenever you're ready, bringing only the good and positive energy with you, slowly help yourself up to an easy seated position. I'd like to seal this practice as we began with the sound and vibration of Om. Inhaling to prepare. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May your mind be open. May your words be mindful. May your heart be open and abundant with love.